Hey everyone, Brendan here from Earth Bites. We're ready to harvest our spring mini kits. What you're going to need for this one is a nice clean bowl and a pair of clean scissors. You want to have something that you use in the kitchen, not something you use in the garden, so that it's nice and clean. We got a bit of a big bushy jungle going on right here, so I'm going to show you how to work your way through. We're going to start at the front and work our way to the back, and I'll show you how to deal with each plant along the way. Now, you've probably got your plants kicking around still, but it can be hard to sort of tell what is what. So we planted arugula and we planted mustard. Now the arugula here, the leaves are very similar, but this one's got more of a segmented leaf. This one's more of a serrated leaf. But there's an easy way to tell the difference. Grab a little piece of one and taste it. If it's spicy and it's got a kick like that one, ooh, you know that's the mustard. You want to keep these separate. You never want to overdo it with the mustard leaves in a salad. And if you're trying to make a smoothie out of this, you do not want those mustard leaves going in a smoothie. That would be a big surprise. So I'm going to go through here and identify. I'm going to start with the mustard and leave the arugula out so I can keep the mustard greens separate. We're also going to get into some radishes, and the radish greens are edible too. We'll put those aside as well. All right, so we've identified this one as mustard, very spicy. What I'm going to do, just above the soil level, I'm going to go with my scissors and I'm going to give it a snip. Now, I've got a bunch of leaves here. Some of these leaves are not going to be that good. You can see they've started to yellow. The rest of these leaves, I'm just going to pop them off. Place them in my clean bowl. Okay, so we set our mustard greens aside for the time being, and now we're going to work on our arugula and our spinach. Those two were pretty easy to identify as well, and both of them are in the front and off to the sides of our pot. Here we've got our spinach and the arugula. Same way we did the mustards, we're going to go down, we're going to trim them off, and we're going to go through. I like to identify any of the ones that are a little bit eaten by bugs first and get rid of those, and the rest will pop into our bowl. Now I'm going to do my spinach the exact same way. Pop it off nice and low, just above the soil. We don't want to get soil contamination. And pull off all the leaves. So we do have a few radishes in here as well. I'm just going to pull them out. I don't think, one of the downfalls with doing these pots like this was we really crammed things in. If you had a bigger pot, maybe you had a little bit better luck with your radish. You can see the little bitty radish right there. You could try and eat that if you want. But you know what? The radish leaves themselves are also edible. And these are great, again, in a salad. But they are a little spicy, so you want to keep these separate. Again, put these with your mustard greens that you had, because you don't want to throw those ones in a smoothie. They pack a good kick. All right, so now we're going to deal with our kale. So there's two ways to do with your kale. You could, just like we did with all the other ones, you could cut them right off. That'll be it for them. You'll take them out and you could use this pot for something else later on. But I'm going to show you another method, because these kale are still really healthy, really like living in this pot, and we could keep them going all summer long into the fall, maybe even into next year. If you put this in a sort of warmer spot during the winter, it'll survive. So I'm going to show you how to keep it alive throughout the year and keep producing more and more harvests for you. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go from the bottom of the kale up. Now this first leaf here has got a lot of bug damage, so I'm just going to pop that one off right away, throw it into the compost. But I'm going to pull off, you can see we've got big leaves, and in the interior here we've still got some new growth starting. So if I pull off some of these outer big leaves, I'm going to take about 60% of the leaves off. I'm going to leave a few. Let's just go like that. I'm going to leave those 3 leaves. Here we go. I got a nice handful of kale. And I'm going to do that again with this other plant right here. this kale will grow back. It'll keep growing taller. It'll keep producing more and more leaves for you. So you'll get harvest after harvest this way. So I've given my kale a nice little haircut. The other advantage to this is we've let a lot of light and airflow in here. You'll probably notice, like if yours is anything like ours, the bottom leaves, we're getting a lot of bug damage to them because they're so close to the soil. Now allowing that airflow and everything like that through there, you're not going to get as much slug or other bug damage on this. What we want to do though is we've still got some roots in here from our spinach. Wait until the end to do this way, because the dirt's going to be flying a little bit when we do this. So this way, nothing that we're going to eat is going to get covered in dirt, create more work for us having to wash it all off. All of this stuff right here can just go in the compost. And if you want, you can always pop some more plants in here. You're not going to have a lot of space for something big like a tomato, but you could pop a few carrots in here. You could grab yourself a few more kales, or maybe you want to grab something like some lettuce or something like that and put those in there with it as well. Now you've got a little bit more space. Last thing we got to deal with is the peas, so I'll show you how to do that one right now. Okay, peas, we've got two edible parts on the peas. Obviously the pea. And to harvest those, it's really easy. You can snip it off right here, or just hold the stem, give it a quick twist. We got a few nice ones on here, so we're going to go through, pop those off. We've got a few that are still developing, like this guy right here, so we'll leave that one on there and let it grow longer. Now the other part that we have here, we've got some flowers. Those are going to turn into new peas as well, so we're going to leave those ones alone. But coming up off this flower right here, we've got this nice shoot, and if we just give that a little trim and a little trim right here, these guys are edible. They're actually really expensive if you go out and try and buy them, and they're delicious. They're really good in a salad. So I'm going to go along and snip these off, because what that's going to do is that actually is going to change the focus for the peas. Now it's going to put more energy into growing the flowers and the peas that are left on here, and less energy into trying to grow itself bigger and out more. Off this plant right here, I'm gonna get at least one, maybe two more harvests out of it. It'll probably grow for another 3 or 4 weeks. Once the weather gets really hot and dry, it's really gonna be done for the peas. They don't like to grow all summer long. So just leave that in there, get a few more harvests out of it, and then you'll be good to go. So we got our nice big bowl of greens here. We got our spinach, our arugula, our kale, we got some peas, we got some pea shoots. All of this is going to be delicious in a salad or a smoothie. We've also got the mustard greens and the radish tops that we saved. Maybe you got some radishes out of yours too. Those are going to be great in a salad. Again, don't try and put those in a smoothie. If you're looking for some recipes, we included some in your booklet. We've got a nice green spring salad along with a delicious dressing, as well as a green smoothie that you could try out with all of this stuff. Hopefully you guys had as good luck as we did. We'll be back again next year to do another round. All right, thanks everyone.